He is one of my favorite interviewers, especially since his show is not once but twice here on AZTV 7 starting at 10 a.m. It's the man, the myth, the legend himself, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Steve Wilkos. Steve, how are you this morning?
I'm actually pretty good.
So I have to say, this season started like with a bang, and you're so excited about it. Let's talk about that because, again, you guys, last couple of years, with the pandemic, you guys were pretty much holding back and stuff. Now it is a full force of pretty much solving people's problems in the Steve way.
Yeah, so, over 15 years, you gravitate or you adjust, you go in a direction where people are very interested in. And, we've had a successful ride all these years, but the last couple of years ago, we kind of veered more into like true crime stories. And now we're doing stories about people that we're calling them Steve survivors. And it's, people that have survived violent attacks, crimes against them, robberies, things like that, arson. And then we're also doing stories about people that have been falsely convicted of crimes, been sentenced to 10, 15, 20 years in prison, or they were forced to take a plea deal because they were young and dumb, and they were scared of, spending the rest of their life in jail. And, for me, and I do think this is what, resonates with people at home is that, when I think myself, if I was falsely convicted and I had to go to prison for 10 years, could I survive or would I just check out, So when these people tell these stories and how they fought to get released from prison or, to be exonerated, the stories to me are just truly amazing.
Yeah, what's so amazing with these stories as you go through is that they mean a little bit to you because of your past, and you've been there with, again, people who have been convicted, people who, were taken in have been convicted. So these stories really hit home for you, don't they?
Yeah, listen, when I was a police officer, I was in Chicago and, you had a lot of opportunity to make a lot of arrests. And, my whole thought process or what I went to work to do is really to arrest the bad guy. I wasn't looking to grab a guy and throw a crime on him so I'd get credit for an arrest. I wanted to actually get the bad guy and take him off the street. And I think that's, 99.9% of policemen.
Absolutely.
But there are people out there that will just take a guy, a woman, and throw them on a crime so that they can solve it and move on and claim an arrest. And, when you're the person on the opposite end of that being arrested, it's probably one of the worst things that can happen to anybody. So when we hear these stories, they're quite fascinating.
Yeah, they are. I'm going to change gears a little bit and talk personal and family with you because you guys are pretty excited about your wife right now, aren't you?
Yeah, my wife just finished a pretty long battle with breast cancer, and she's doing really well, and she got a lot of support. And my wife is a very grinding type of woman. Like if she sinks her teeth into something, she learns everything about it. So when she was diagnosed with cancer, she probably read every book that has ever been published about cancer, and just studied on what's the best ways to beat it and changing diet and everything else. So she's amazing, and she's done really well, and she's doing good.
I'll tell you, Steve, it's great to hear it. And again, you're like our family here because we don't just show you once, we show you twice because it's so nice of what you've been doing for those, again, who are survivors and those who are trying to pretty much get their convictions cleared. And so we want you to continue it up. And I know you're looking forward to more, of course, of another season or two.
Yeah, for sure. I want to keep doing the show until my son's out of the house.
That would be great. Steve, thanks for joining us this morning.
All right, thank you.